So we are headed out to test drive 1500s today. We're going to hit Toyota because you guys said that the Tundra was the truck I should buy. Now, I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to buy a Tundra, but we're going to test drive a new Tundra, probably a Ram Rebel, maybe a Bighorn. A lot of you guys said you want to see me drive Fords and you think I have something against Fords. I actually don't. I'm just not going to get the 5.0 because I live at 5,000 feet. I'll probably drive a 2.7 or a 3.5 and see how that goes. But we're going to take you along with us. So we're in Old Bessie today. I actually added steering wheel controls and we've got someone with us here. He has intentions to marry my daughter or something. I don't know. We got Trevor with us today, so should be fun. He'll be swinging the camera most of the day. First one, we're test driving the Lunar Rock 2026 Tundra. This is an SR5 and they've got this thing. It's 55,768. I'll be honest, a little high for an SR5. Unlike the Ram, so it does have tie down spray and bed liner, but I don't see an outlet in here. And you know, in the Rams, when you get the bed utility kit, you get an outlet, you get a 400 watt inverter, and you get a step. We're gonna test drive it anyway because you guys voted for the Tundra. I'm not gonna take you guys through all the features. You guys have seen these trucks ad nauseum. I'm just gonna drive the thing and give you my perception of the ride quality and power and everything in it. And just how everything feels. See how cheaply it's built, or how well it's built. We'll see. One thing that Trevor and I noticed immediately was this windshield. Like the gap from here to here is super tiny. I actually noticed it mounting this camera in my Sequoia. The windshield's much longer. I just feel like you have a lot more vision. This feels like super closed down, just makes you feel like you're in a Camaro or something. Probably be fine, just an observation.
One thing I do notice is these floorboards. They're like the Tacoma floorboards where they're really high up. I'm a really tall guy, I'm 6'5", but even still, like my leg isn't even touching the seat with the seat all the way back. So
okay,
really high floorboards.
I don't hear any rod knock, that's good. The main bearing sounds good in this brand new one. Obviously SR5, non-digital dash. You have the little digital portion in the center, typical steering wheel controls. I would probably want a limited. This screen is actually smaller than like the Ram Warlock or even the Tradesman. The upgraded screen is a lot nicer. These buttons I do like versus something like the Ram. I do like having these physical buttons down here. The Ram does have them on the side of their big screen. They also have some down below in the smaller screens, so that's fine. I don't mind the layout of the Tundra. Like, this layout does not bug me at all as far as where everything is. It does have a power seat too. That's another thing. I was looking at the Ram Warlock and you don't get power seats. You do get a rear locker, but not having power seats and dual climate control. I do want dual climate control for the lady. Guys, if your lady's approaching her 40s and you're planning on a long-term truck, get one with dual climate control. You'll know why when the menopause comes around. Hopefully she doesn't watch this video.
And this one does or doesn't have dual climate control? It looks like just single climate control.
Looks like it has single. So that's another probably thing that you're going to get going up to the Limited, but the Limited in these is over 60, at least here. So you're looking at over 60 grand for the Limited, where you could get a Rebel with a full, you get a Rebel with level 2 pack for, you know, you got skid plates, you got everything. It's almost like the TRD Pro. The hood, so I've seen a lot of complaints on this hood, and when you look at, see how it dips down? People complain on the different colors that they'll reflect really bad into your eyes. I can kind of see how that would happen. Huh. There's a lot of, I think it's probably tuned to try to get better mileage, but when you hit it, it didn't want to get into boost or downshift. There was that throttle lag. It's almost like the type of lag you would feel that's designed for trying to save fuel economy, you know, but it also only has 14 miles. I'm not going to be flooring this and ripping on it because someone's going to buy it and want to break it in, maybe even me. I'll be honest, there's more. I'm only going 55. There's more wind noise here with the interstate right there than I would expect in a brand new truck. Like I can hear wind noise off that mirror and I can hear it here. We have a Volkswagen Atlas, a 2024 for my wife, and that thing's probably, I would say it's quieter than this, wouldn't you?
I would say so.
Yeah, and these are highway tires. It's not like the SR5 has some knobbies on it. It's not, it doesn't have the kick I expected. Like it takes a little to get going. I mean, you can tell it has plenty of low end torque. It's just, I'm surprised that it has that lag, because I've been reading about the throttle lag in all of them, and it's not smashed down and it dies. It's just lag. It doesn't get going as fast as I would expect it to with the power output it has. You got 480 foot-pounds of torque. You expect that thing to just jump.
I'm also noticing a lot of wind noise, even on this road right here where there's nothing else surrounding us. I can hear the wind through this passenger window pretty clearly.
Yeah.
And on top of that, one thing that just continues to baffle me is this display. I mean, my entire hand can cover it. It is tiny for a $56,000 truck.
Yeah, it's pretty minimal. The brakes felt really good. I think it has 4-piston in the front. I think the braking on the Tundra is going to be a little more substantial than on the lower trim Rams. That was one of the downsides that I saw to some Warlock reviews, was just I think it has dual piston front and single piston rear. But this Tundra's brakes have been pretty good. They squeak when you back up. People don't like that. But yeah, this wind noise, like my Sequoia doesn't do that.
No.
Even I got 237,000 on the Sequoia, and I do not have that wind noise. So I know, and I just drove this road to the dealership, so I know that like the conditions are identical. You know what it almost looks like to me is the way they designed this hood. The scoops like come back, and I feel like it's directing the wind like harshly towards this pillar and the mirror, almost like it's just channeling it and making it turbulence there or something. Maybe they did it for miles per gallon or something to try to be more efficient, but it results in maybe more noise on the outsides where they're pushing the air. I do like the feel of the suspension and everything was really nice, because we have some really terrible roads with expansion joints out here. I think the suspension is nice. That's why everybody likes the Tundras. They say they ride like a car, and it does ride extremely smooth. These seats feel pretty firm. It's hard to tell if they're going to hold up or not. You know, like all Toyota stuff in the past, it wasn't like they used all premium materials and everything in the past. It was just that they were so affordable that nobody cared it would hold up long enough, and the powertrains always held
some
up.
of this bolstering right here, it's extremely thin.
You can pinch it all the way down to the bolstering, and it's fine. It's probably, I mean, a lot of vehicles are going this route. Even I've looked at the GM seats are terrible. I think this is why everybody says Ram has the best interiors. We'll go look at a Ram next, but I think that the noise, like I'm not hearing anything from the dash. This all seems really solid and tight. The dash feels put together. The whole car feels pretty like solid. I'm not feeling a lot of weird body roll issues or things that I think would creep up as rattle noises later on. You know, sometimes you can tell when a car is just not gonna last. Over the bumps, like that bump right there, you can tell losing the leaf springs in the back, and the way they've designed the suspension, it definitely handles the bumps and the drainage gaps really well. Rides like a car. It rides like a big old Cadillac.
But I think we'll be able to draw a lot of conclusions on this vehicle's interior along with how it drives and everything when we drive that Ram.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a Stellantis guy in the slightest.
No, I'm not
But Ram does a good job on their interiors and the way their vehicles drive.
Yep.
And I'm excited to see how those new Hurricane engines act and how it sounds and how it feels.
I think this is why people buy Toyotas. Like, they feel solid, they ride nice, they feel like it's going to last. If the powertrain issues were worked out, they'd be selling these like hotcakes. They still are, but they'd probably be selling more. It smells like we broke it in a little, and I didn't even hit the gas. It's smelling a little hot. All right, on to Ram. We just smelled something super hot, burning smell, which is pretty normal when you're driving a brand new vehicle. We did not get on it at all. And it reminded me of a couple things, and it's these huge gaps here. You got an intercooler here, an intercooler here. I'm gonna check that out on the Ram. I really don't like the location of those intercoolers, because I've seen guys get rocks thrown up in there and it just dings them, and then they got to get a new intercooler. Just certain things like that I'm looking at that gonna keep it long term. I don't want something that's gonna be a total nightmare. Pretty quiet though. You can hear the direct injection just sounds normal. This is how they're supposed to sound. See, all the ones I do videos about, they have like rod knock in them, so they're really loud. This is nice and quiet. Yeah, what do you feel like in this thing? So this is,
It's tight. It feels like a Tacoma.
so it feels, to me, compared to just driving my Sequoia, it feels like the gap from there on the floorboard to up here is shorter in this than the previous Tundra. But I could be wrong. I probably should measure it before I go guessing and making statements.
It really does feel like I'm driving like a Camry or something like that. You know, I
Just feels a little like
had to
more.
drop the seat all the way down, all the way back.
If you lift that seat up, how high will it go?
I'm
It's like, okay, so it goes up pretty good, but it also goes forward.
And this is all the way back.
But does that feel more like a truck normal? And how's your head?
Now my line of vision is right where the headliner
Yes,
drops
you
down.
really can't. You don't want it there because your line of vision is like kind of cramped. So interesting. All right, another thing we're noticing, like expect like the little denser paint down here to protect against rocks and like an orange peely look down here. But this, it's like almost orange peel all the way up. Like the quality of the paint on my old Sequoia is better than this. And I really like the color, but this just is obvious to me, like a $55,000 truck. It shouldn't be orange peel looking. And as I've talked about in the past, you got like these felt little liners here, but you really have zero protection under anything, nothing under the gas tank, nothing under the transfer case. So you really have to add all that protection. And if you get the TRD package, you're starting to creep up into the 60,000 range with the limiteds and TRDs. And so we had to stop because they've got two Mark IV Supras, and then they got a Supra, what is it, the Celica Supra over there?
It looks like a Mark II.
We're basically we couldn't buy a 2JZ here at Toyota anymore. So we're gonna go buy the Ram 2JZ, or at least look at it. All right, not exactly apples to apples, but we're gonna try this Ram Rebel right here. This is a GT. I'm probably not going to look at a GT. I just want to test drive it and get a feel for it. And we might try a Bighorn, which would be more comparable to the SR5. But we're going to drive this and see how they drive. I just want to compare this to the Toyota and see what the powertrain feels like. In my local area, I can pick up a Rebel for probably a couple grand more than the SR5. So pricing's kind of close. Cold start. It sounds farty. I'm not bashing the Tundra at all, but already this interior feels like heavy and dense, doesn't it? It feels like kind of like this isn't super heavy, but it does feel like the bolstering feels a little thicker on the edges. Like the seats feels a little more substantial.
This one looks like it's equipped with the passenger side display.
Oh yeah, we wouldn't need that, would we? So it has ventilated and heated in this package, so it's the level 2 with the extra stuff. We'll just go auto. Yeah, those are glovable. Like if I had gloves on, I could still use those. That's not bad. I was worried that these, I don't really want touchscreen everything, but if you can still have the physical buttons on the side, it's fine. Power mirrors, oh look at that, so fancy. It's pretty cool because we're cutting it pretty close on that car back there, but the camera gives me confidence. What would I do without cameras? Get it up to a little. I want to hear the wind noise in this. Compare it. It's pretty quiet.
Yeah, I can hear.
I hear
on the passenger
it's the tires because they're more like mud tires or all terrains. The brakes might be a tiny bit more stout in the Tundra. Definitely has more throttle response low. Like when you push it, it kind of just wants to go.
It does feel more snappy than the Tundra.
Tundra has like a little bit of lag. Like you really got to sink into the throttle. It's almost like they're trying to get you to save fuel economy by not dialing it in until you really get into it. This feels a little more on tap. I think the vision here is a little bit more.
It's definitely better. That Tundra felt like it was sitting down here.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 more inches down. So I like the vision. The hood on probably the Rebel, the RHO, the hoods kind of pop up, so it's kind of dumb. So
yeah,
but the edges are, you can at least still see over the edges. The interior quality is nice. Everything feels really, really dense.
From the Rams, I mean, because I like personally a little bit the Chevy body style and stuff, but
yeah,
I don't really like them all that much. I like the Rams. Yeah, but I always say there's no smoother ride or nicer interior than a Ram.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're selling them, you better have that opinion, right?
They do have nice interiors, though.
They do,
truthfully. That's for work. I drive around a 2025 Dodge Durango, and it's nice. I like it. It rides super nice, all that kind of stuff. I just personally, the Pentastar 3.6 has had its issues, so that's what I noticed with them. But
yeah,
I think the Hurricanes are better. So
Man, I will say this thing is like dead, like you're at a stop in the engine. I thought it had start stop on and it was turning the engine off, but it's not. It's not turning it off. Try to get it up to like 60. And
I mean, you can hear the tires, but they're incredibly aggressive, so.
yeah, I'm not hearing like, I don't hear that wind noise off this edge by the mirror, but I'm not hearing a ton of like extra wind noise, which I don't know. I'm getting old and picky. That's why I like the Hurricane. I'd rather have quiet than V8 rumble anymore at this elevation. Yeah. You can definitely tell the shocks are a little more stout. I'm like quarter, eighth or a quarter throttle. It's just like, I want to go. It's like a little kid and you gave them a whole bag of Sour Patch Kids and they're just ready to roll. Normally I would have gone Toyota. I'll be honest, I was looking at a Tundra a couple years ago and they started having those engine problems and they kept having them and I'm just like, they've still had some 2025s that have failed and I'm just not as interested as I was because of the potential failures. So then I started looking at Ram. I really was never a Ram Stellantis, so I just didn't look at them. And I've always bought GMs and had some Fords and moved on to Toyota and just ended up loving all the Toyotas for the reliability. And now I'm kind of like, well, everybody's got their problems. You just have to pick your poison. But Ram seems to have the fewest powertrain problems right now. Yeah,
They have a composite coat on them.
Yeah, they're like metal inside, but they have a composite coat. They're supposed to be better for rust.
If you feel underneath them, you can feel all the different plastic inside there.
Oh yeah, they're underneath. It's like a honeycomb design, and then they have the Bilsteinies. lots of plastic on these. Alternator. You know, one thing is the alternator's down low. You wouldn't be taking this in like a swamp because, well, you could, but yeah, pretty beefy underneath. We got skid plates. The skid plate's there, and then a skid plate for the transfer case, skid plate back here for the gas tank as well. Yeah, direct injection only, no port. That's one advantage to the Toyota. If their engines weren't grenading, they'd be.
I don't know. I think it's cool how you can see both the turbos. You have all the electronic control solenoids for that turbo, and then right over there too.
Yep. All right, now we're gonna try the Ram 1500 Bighorn. This is probably a little more comparable to the SR5, but this has the 355 axle ratio. The Rebel had 392. I'm going to just see how this feels with the 355, and it does have a 26-gallon fuel tank. I'd rather have a 33, but I guarantee that tires are going to be quieter on this, so we'll get a better side-by-side, like what does the Tundra feel like compared to this as far as wind noise and just general highway truck feel. It's still just absolute, like you barely hit the gas, and with the 355 it's totally fine. Like, why would you ever need, unless if you're towing the 392 it'd be awesome, but about what we were doing in the Tundra, this is 60. That seems way quieter, doesn't it, than the Rebel?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So yeah, just tire noise in the Rebel. I mean, it looks cool, but the tire noise is definitely substantial compared to these Bighorn, which I don't think most people care about, but this is like hybrid sounding quiet almost.
Yeah.
I do like this engine more than the Tundra, the feel of it. It's just, it has everything right away, and it's just easier to kind of accelerate, get going, and let off, and get super quiet. It has that inline six torquey feel. Shocks in this are definitely more, obviously, for the commuter style.
Oh yeah,
car-like, and
it's, you could tell that the Rebel was more floaty. It felt like it sucked up a lot of the smaller ones easier, because it's meant for that kind of thing.
You like the Rebel better, don't you?
Yeah, but I mean, you look at my truck.
Yeah. You just like all the you like all the red accents on everything, don't you?
I do.
The stitching, and you're a rebel.
I'm a rebel.
Being a cop, you're a rebel. If you're just looking for a commuter style truck, you occasionally maybe tow the boat with or something, this would probably be a better option than a Rebel.
saying I could see something along the lines of your wife enjoying this more.
Oh yeah.
You know, than like a Rebel.
I see why people like the Ram.
Yeah.
They're quiet. The interior feels nice. Plenty of power, and the transmission's really, you know, that ZF kind of like quick shift
Snaps.
It really snaps into gear, and there's just no delay in it. It's quieter than the Tundra for sure.
For sure, 100%.
I think the interior quality of like the dash and all the buttons and everything in the Tundra felt really good.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel better than this. And then the door, the wind noise in Tundra was more pronounced.
See, and the thing that I noticed with like the Tundra is a lot of it is just straight up plastic.
Yeah, hard plastic.
At least, you know, Dodge tries a little bit with a little bit of fake leather, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's like this stuff could get ripped easier. So the Tundras are like, they want to put in the hard plastic to maybe be more durable over the long term, but they're not as comfortable. You know, it doesn't feel as posh. This is nice.
Pretty much all the paint's going to be pretty similar. And this is like a similar shade to the Tundra. What do you think of that orange pair? I think it's marginally better, but still not something you'd expect out of a $50,000 truck. Hey, you guys would like to see that.
All right, now we're here looking at this Ford F-150 XLT. And this just has the 2.7. I do like that they've got the physical buttons here, and it has a larger screen than say the Tundra or something. But so far our impressions of the interior are it's a step below the Ram for sure. So we're gonna see how it drives. They said it's discounted to $57,000. So I'm gonna tell you right now that unless this thing does 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds.
Do we have to be concerned about them giving us a truck with 4 miles to empty?
Fuel low, 4 miles to empty. You know what? We're gonna go see if we can get this thing stuck. Should we actually ask them about it? No, I'm just gonna go. Actually feels pretty tight. Feels pretty Ford-like, you know? Fords are really known for their high build quality with no rattling.
See, and I've always noticed that Ford suspension is one of my favorite. They build tight suspensions that don't seem to fail with a lot of miles on them compared to like Chevy, for example. So
yeah, how far do you think I can go? Do you think it's really 4 miles to empty?
I don't know.
Do you think you did that on purpose?
Oh, glove box just opened on its own. There it goes. Now it actually clicked.
I will say the ZF, I can tell you right now, this 10-speed in the Ford does not shift anywhere near as nice as the ZF does, but it's very, like,
I don't know, at
plushy.
47 miles an hour right now. Hear a lot of wind noise out of this passenger side.
Do you really?
Significant amount, yes.
I feel like this is quieter than the Tundra was.
One thing in comparison to the Tundra that I like is I can actually sit down in this one. The floorboards are fairly deep.
And better than the Tundra is this vision. They kind of have a cutout here, and your vision right here feels like you can raise the seat up. I still have plenty of headroom up here, and then I still have vision. So if I want to raise the seat up, get more of like I'm sitting in a chair type position, and then I can still see. That's kind of important to me. I don't like sitting down like a car in a truck.
Flip a UE.
Flip a UE, see what the turning radius is like. Yeah, that's not too bad. Pretty good for a full size. I think that's a little better than the Tundra was.
Gosh, a lot of plastic.
The 2.7's got great power. Like it's plenty of power. Again, the torque ratings aren't as high as the Tundra and the Hurricane, but you wouldn't know it like unloaded. That feels very similar, like a very similar driving experience to the Hurricane to me. It's where you would probably notice is if you put an 8,000-pound trailer on it, and then you'd be like, oh, okay, it's struggling a little more than the other ones. For a 2.7, it's impressive. I do like the way it rides. Like you said, the suspension feels really good. So I'm glad we drove it. I do like this layout better. Being able to have a big screen, not have the climate in the screen, so you still get what you want in the screen, but have dial buttons, because when you got gloves on and stuff, like this is what you want to do, right? Like you've got gloves on. Pretty good, like accessible. It's like utilitarian, you know, that's what Ford is.
I don't know, a lot of this interior center console quality, this, like you can see right here.
Oh yeah.
This moves significantly. It doesn't mesh up very well with this fabric material that they got.
You can feel the difference in the Rams versus Ford, and I don't know what GM's is like because I'm not gonna, their powertrains are too janky to have me to look, but this definitely, I think the seats feel pretty good in the Ford. They don't feel terrible. They're kind of Tundra. I feel like the surface material in the Tundra was more durable than these. These feel like a weaker material.
I do like the foam in these though. I mean, it feels like it's got thicker bolstering,
a
little bit more dense.
Yep. The Ram definitely though is in a league of its own. In interior. At least I think it is.
From these preliminary looks, in price too.
Yeah. I'm surprised that, so right now Ram has the least amount of transmission and engine problems, the nicest interiors, and yet they're discounted the most. So
pretty stripped down, basic looking.
Yeah, I don't care that it doesn't have an engine cover on.
No,
you know, typical. They're all going to have these plastic valve covers, and they're actually not. Like you do have quite a bit of room in there if you did have to work underneath or look at the turbos or whatever. It's not bad. Because it's a small enough V6, you know. These tubes though, like all this style of plastic, man, that stuff always ends up breaking down. All right, we've been to Ram, Ford. We were here looking at a SR5. Now we're looking at this Limited. We wanted to give Toyota a little more of a fair shot because the SR5 didn't feel like it compared to the Rams that we drove. So now we're looking at this TRD Limited. You know, you're just still getting spray-in, kind of a cheaper spray-in, no power outlet. The Ford and the Ram both had power outlets, which is kind of a bummer. You do get the tie downs, but it's not the end of the world. At least you get a step here, kind of like the Ram bed package. The seats are going to be a little bit better. Everything's going to be upgraded in this compared to the SR5. So hopefully we'll like it better than what we found in the SR5.
Just for comparison, the vehicle 66.
Yeah, so this is probably going to end up being more than like a Ram Rebel. It's probably similar in features to the Rebel, but it's not. You don't have anywhere near the, like, you don't have the lift, you don't have the tires on it, you don't have a lot of the, I think the Rebel had heated and ventilated seats up front, heated seats in the back, quite a bit more features than the Rebel. But let's see what this TRD
has a red push button start. It's red.
Oh, yeah, so that actually makes it faster, and I heard that the main bearings don't spin if you have the red button there. So this is brand new, 2026. So
looks like these buttons, a lot of them aren't blinked out. You got the rear locker, power tailgate, full surround.
I do like all the physical buttons on the Ford and the Toyota, having all these physical buttons here, and they do feel pretty good quality, except for this breaks off all the time for people apparently. It just like internally breaks. The outside feels fine, but the internals kind of bust off on it. So immediately, what did you notice when we got in here? I'll tell you what I noticed, the windshield.
Yeah.
But I've noticed, so in the last cars we've been in, we have a Volkswagen Atlas, Toyota Sequoia, we've been in the Ford F-150 and the Rams. All of them had bigger windshields and felt like there was a nice amount of vision in the front, and the Tundra was the only one that feels like squished and cramped.
Well, the headliner's pushed down significantly on this one, but on top of that, this dash is huge.
Yeah.
And so, like, the total windshield size is tiny. I'm willing to bet this windshield is double the cost of a Sequoia windshield.
Yeah,
so
who knows? It's just a weird, like, observation. Like, I feel myself leaning forward like I need better vision. It could just be something you need to get used to. I like the way they feel. I mean, these are brand new cars, so it's really hard to not like the way they feel as far as just driving behavior. So we're going 55.
still get a lot of wind noise even with this different style.
Just right here.
Yeah, right on the mirror.
It's like right on your ear. It's almost like this glass or I don't know what it is. Maybe this is just super thin. I don't know. It says we're averaging 8.3 miles per gallon, so that's good. Almost like my old 8.1 liter I had. That's a fake synthetic sound, for sure. This one feels, with the TRD package, definitely feels a little more like
stiff, yes.
A little more stiff than obviously than the SR5. That feels good.
Feels peppier than the other one.
Yeah, feels.
But
I don't know why. This is not the. This isn't the iForce Max. I like the way this one feels. It kind of feels like almost feels a little like the Rebel, like firmness. Like the shocks feel a little more stout, doesn't it?
It does.
Definitely different than the SR5.
Yeah.
But this, like, I'm maybe in it a quarter. Yeah. And that was that was 1/4 on the I-Force, you know, the boost gauge. This one feels much better than the SR5. Like as far as just power, raw power, I don't know why. I don't know, maybe this is luck of the draw. And these, one thing about the Tundra that's nice, they do have that rear window rolls down, I think, all the way. That feels pretty good. This definitely rides, I think this rides really nice, the TRD. Better than I would, and maybe an SR5 TRD would be the right balance, you know. But with the Limited, you get some more fancy. You get ventilated seats, right? Get heated and ventilated. So
after like riding in the other trucks and sitting in them, I noticed that these seats are very firm in comparison to Ford and Dodge seats.
yeah,
Firm seats.
but yeah, what do you think of the quality of these? Definitely an upgrade on over the SR5.
I mean, door cards feel sturdy. I like the way they feel. It's still just a lot more plastic than you see in a lot of the other brands.
Yeah, everything does feel pretty solid. You know, it doesn't feel like it's going to start rattling and falling apart, which is kind of Toyota. Like when you look at the Sequoia that I have and everything, they did hard plastics everywhere. It's not like they were ever like a Ram interior. They've never been. Their whole thing was their powertrains were super reliable.
Yep.
And you didn't have to do ball joints and control arms and bushings. Like everything just worked.
Yeah.
The bearings, the wheel bearings, everything lasted 200,000-300,000 miles. And now that they're having powertrain problems, everybody's freaked out.
Everyone on the pole wanted to see this.
I will say I like this one a lot better than the SR5. I'm glad we drove it. But at 60, what is this one?
66.
$66,000? Yikes.
This is why this one felt a lot better than the SR5, because they've got Bilstein. This feels very similar to me, ride quality to maybe the Rebel even. Just felt very, very similar. At least they do have skid plate under there, under the gas tank. I don't know if that's plastic or not. I could go over there and hit it.
One thing I did like better on the Toyota was the brakes. I think the braking system felt a little more just dialed in and snappy. Like when I pushed the brakes, there was no mushiness to it. It was a little more level braking feel than the Ram. But I think those might be 4-piston. And I think they're, I don't know, they might be dual. On the Ram, I don't know. We'll have to look. But the Ram was fine. It was just interesting that I noticed the braking felt a little quicker on this. Look at the front suspension. Wanted to clear up some things. We didn't drive General Motors products, mainly because the only GM I was interested in was the 3-liter Duramax. Now, that just recently started having some issues, and I'm not sure if those issues are cleared up. GM's transmissions, Ford transmissions are very similar. I didn't want to deal with those issues. Ram does have the best warranty. Toyota transmissions, I really like them. It was fun to go out and test drive these vehicles. I would recommend doing this if you are in the market for a truck. There were a lot of things I figured out on test driving them back to back, and I think that's important. Go out the same day, back-to-back test drives, and really figure out which trims and which models, which ones you like. Because everybody's different, everybody's height is different. Some guy that's maybe 5'5", 5'8", might not have any of the vision problems I have in the Tundra. They may love them. So there's all sorts of reasons why you should go out and do this if you're really in the market for a truck. Don't just look online and shop specs. Go put your hands on the vehicles. I hope this helped you guys out. Which one do you think I'm going to buy? My next video, I'm going to reveal my new truck for the channel. Until next time, thanks for watching.